All right, good evening. Welcome to the Buck Stops here. I'm Vishnu Shobh. On the program this evening, the standoff between Delhi University and the University Grants Commission on the four-year undergraduate program continues, with Delhi University continuing to defy the UGC ultimatum to scrap the four-year program and begin admissions for a three-year undergraduate degree program, essentially the same as what it was. This comes at a time when details are emerging of how the UGC chief, Ved Prakash, had once showered praise on Dinesh Singh, the Vice-Chancellor of Delhi University, referring to him as a brother I love most. These comments came just about 4 months back. So why is the same UGC chief now determined to scrap Dinesh Singh's pet project? Or are there clear instructions to this effect from the government, which raises larger issues on the autonomy of our educational institutions? Tonight, as an audience of students and educators joins us, we ask, have politics hijacked the campus, and has Delhi University in fact lost its sheen as a result of this controversy? Also coming up, NDTV's Amitabh Brevi is the only journalist from an Indian television news network in Iraq. He brings us exclusive ground reports from Erbil, just 80 kilometers from Mosul, the city besieged by the terrorist group ISIS, which threatens to overrun the country. But first, here's the top story. The standoff between the University Grants Commission and the Vice-Chancellor of Delhi University. Those suffering are 3 lakh students applying for entry to DU and approximately 60,000 students who are already enrolled in the controversial four-year undergraduate program.
Protests by student groups picked up today after Delhi University prolonged the crisis by not starting admissions immediately. The Delhi University spokesperson said they have a new proposal for the University Grants Commission. They agreed to an honours degree in 3 years as the UGC wants, but they want to do this without scrapping the controversial four-year program.
सिर्फ 3 साल में ऑनर्स की डिग्री देने की बात हम करें.
Nearly 3 lakh students are applying for a place in India's biggest university, but there's very little clarity for them from any quarter.
Certainty of getting into a college has gone down.
The education minister isn't speaking, neither is the UGC chief, who met Smriti Irani today. A UGC meeting on the crisis too was cancelled. And the Vice-Chancellor, whom the DU spokesperson on Tuesday said had resigned, is silent, but it seems to be calling the shots. The UGC deadline to start the admission process came and went, but things remained in suspended animation. The DU officials, however, maintained that the new proposals were the best way out, as the changes did not have to go through a string of statutory bodies and the old courses could be reinstated without delay, also adding that time was of the essence.
बिल्कुल क्लियरली forthright कहेंगे कि ये सवाल ही नहीं होता है कि आप इस खिचड़ी को अभी कंसिडर करें.
But if the standoff wasn't enough, competitive politics played out at the university. The Congress and the BJP student wings had a minor clash, even though ironically both are against the four-year program. Earlier, the left unions were stopped from marching to the Rashtrapati Bhavan.
I think it's the high-handedness of the Vice-Chancellor of Delhi University that is responsible for the sufferings of so many students.
But all the students want is some clarity on their future. In New Delhi, with Tanima Biswas, Bhairavi Singh, NDTV.
So where does this actually leave all of those students? And what about the larger issue of autonomy of our educational institutions? Ultimately, however, the University Grants Commission, as the body, the organization which directs 90% of the funds of Delhi University, would perhaps rightfully feel that they should have a say in how the university is run. Is there an ego issue which is involved here as far as the Vice-Chancellor of Delhi University is concerned? Or is there in fact a sense that the government is imposing some sort of a diktat, perhaps directly or indirectly, from the HRD ministry to the University Grants Commission? So lots of issues over here. We're changing the format of the program this evening. We've actually got a bright young panel of students from Delhi University. Some of them are for the four-year undergraduate program. Some others over here say that in fact what has been proposed is not correct as well. Also with us, Dr. Suresh Kumar Garg, Principal of Deen Dayal Upadhyay College. Thank you, sir, very much for being with us. Nandita Narayan with us as well, President of the Delhi University Teachers Association. Anil Jha, member of the Academic Council and an Associate Professor at Delhi University. A familiar face these days, Sambit Patra, spokesperson of the BJP. Thanks for being with us. Dr. Chandan Yadav of the Congress Party joins us as well, and Professor Sukhdev Thorat, former chairperson of the University Grants Commission. So we've got a very big panel. Let me come across straight to you, Nandita Narayan first. Irrespective of which side of the debate you're on, is there a concern that given the fact that the chief of the University Grants Commission just a few months back had said Vice Chancellor Dinesh Singh is a brother I love most, Dinesh is trying to bring university on a global map, that's commendable. The kind of work Dinesh is doing is commendable. The Delhi University is extremely fortunate to have Dinesh Singh as its VC. This same person seems now to say that what Dinesh Singh is trying to do is rubbish. So we can debate, and we will debate, the merits of the program itself, but isn't this suspicious?
It is certainly suspicious in the sense that what has been happening for the last year and a half, which is gross illegality, complete violation of the norms that have been laid down, and in which this Professor Ved Prakash has been complicit. We had complained to him way back in May 2013 about the violations of all the rules that are supposed to have been observed before you start a new degree program, which is instead of 3 years, it's 4 years, and the courses have not been sent to the UGC 6 months in advance so that the UGC can examine under the UGC Act, fulfill its own role of examining the course as well as the infrastructural requirements before approving it. All of that was not done.
Right.
So I feel that because it's the same person who was there, individuals are not important, but these are the people who have been complicit, not only he, officials in the ministry, the earlier minister, and we have been shouting about the illegalities and the unacademic nature of this course for the last year and a half. For the first time, these have been examined seriously, and therefore the entire commission sat. It was not just one individual. The entire commission sat and found that there are gross illegalities in the way in which this course, without any authorization, was implemented. So Professor Ved Prakash has been forced to change his position, which was earlier complicit with Dinesh Singh.
Sambit, a lot of people would say that the timing of this is curious. Nandita makes the point that, look, there were illegalities which were committed. It was not discussed enough. It was pushed through in haste. If we do accept that argument, that's all very well. Why is it that all of this is happening now, at a time when we've got a new HRD minister, we've got a new government? Because the argument is that there is pressure on the UGC to change this.
I would not buy this argument though, but 2 quick points. First and foremost, let me begin the statement of mine with the same opening which I have always made, that education has no place for ego. And ironically over here we find that there has been a lot of ego clashes everywhere, and wherever ego has crept in education, take my words, education is always lost.
But
and
is
that's
there
what
pressure?
We are seeing. No, as far as the second part,
I'm not saying that pressure is necessarily wrong.
Coming to the specifics, what I mean to say is a general consensus right now is that, well, yes, the 3-year course was better for the students. Whatever timing may have been, at the end of the day, did justice prevail or not? Did larger justice for the students that are those who are sitting in front of me from across the country, cutting across borders of state, has justice prevailed for them or not is most important. What time it comes is a secondary issue.
No, but
Sambit, whichever government
I don't think what you're saying anybody would disagree with.
Yes.
Everybody has the student's interest in mind, whether it's the 4-year program or the 3-year program. The question I'm asking you is, was there pressure from this government on the UGC to scrap this? I'm not saying that pressure is right or wrong. I'm asking you yes or no.
The political statement over here would be in the sense that the HRD ministry has been very specific in saying that this is a matter which has legality in it, in its ambit, and it should be resolved between the UGC and the Delhi University. The HRD ministry has nothing to do with it, and that's what we are seeing on air. It's a matter between the two, the commission and the university, and they have sat together to discuss this issue.
Dr. Chandan Yadav, national spokesperson of the Congress Party, is that something you accept, that in fact there has been no pressure at all?
So BJP has always, they are very rhetorics. They don't go with the facts and figures. They always try to duck the issue with their rhetorics. Let me add on to what Sambit has said. No, there is no denying the fact that majority of the students are against FYUP. But the fact is, let me put the issue in perspective. There are three larger issues in this incident. A, whether the institution's credibility or autonomy has been questioned or compromised. B, whether the FYUP, merit and demerit about FYUP. And the third, the larger interest of the student. So, there is a almost, I guess there is a unanimity that the students are against FYP. But there is also a majority of opinion that institution's credibility or autonomy has been questioned, has been compromised, which Sambit is denying.
This is what I don't. One moment, Sambit. I'll come to you in a moment.
The fact.
I want to ask.
Just one moment. I'll come to both of you next.
Misusing the fact.
No, but Dr. Yadav, here is one point I don't understand. You say that there is pressure and that the credibility of the institution is being affected. My question to you is, when the Congress was in power and this was the brainchild of leaders like Kapil Sibal and endorsed by others like Shashi Tharoor, then it was okay, but now it is not.
Again, see, Delhi is an autonomous institution, autonomous university. It is guided by 1922 University Act. What HRD ministry, UGC has is a separate institution. Now the government role is, the Ministry of HRD's role is to see that the university is governed under rules and regulations.
You're not answering my question.
Why MHRD? Why Kapil Sibal will pass on, get into the decision-making structure of the university?
Can I come
Sambit.
in? See, I mean, my
it's
friend Chandan,
Delhi University
Chandan, a
to
second, allow me
decide
to
on the
answer your
course.
questions. Chandan, in fact, began by saying that BJP has a slew of rhetorics whenever they ask questions. And in fact, ironically, Congress has a whole bunch full of confusions. And if you see this particular case, you would not understand what the want of Congress is at the end of the day. They were the ones who gave birth to the system. They were the ones who, in a haste, forced the Delhi University to bring in the system in the sense, whatever little technicalities. Chandan, let's have a civil argument, please.
Sambit, your slogan
Chandan,
was
let's not have a school kind of argument. Let's have a
governance,
civil
minimum
argument.
government, and you are playing with the autonomy of the institution.
Let's not interfere into each other. I'll give you chance also to rebut back to me, but I believe, let me complete. First and foremost, all I want to say is whatever little, Chandan, can you allow me to complete? Whatever little technicalities I know, I believe as per the Gazette of India 2004, before introducing any kind of subject, it should be at least prior notification by 6 months, so that any examination of infrastructure, etc., can be made by the concerned commission authorities. But ironically over here, the haste with which the FYUP was introduced was, what I maintained from very beginning, was a game of ego from the Congress quarters. They forgot to see what confusion exists in Congress, in the sense there is a whole gamut of leadership in Congress who are trying to speak against the FYUP. There is the Congress students body which is fighting against FYUP. But though they were the ones who gave birth to it.
Sambit, why don't you say directly, is that what you're trying to say? Is that your allegation?
You are ducking the issue.
That Dinesh
See, I am raising one very important issue. Whether MHRD,
see, as far as Bharatiya Janata Party is concerned, I am sitting here as Chandan, can you allow, can we have something sensible?
No,
as
but
far
you are
as
not.
Chandan, as far as Bharatiya Janata Party is concerned, as far as Bharatiya Janata Party is concerned, our stand is extremely clear. It was written in letter and spirit in our manifesto. That was, we stood by the 3-year course. And today, as a spokesperson of Bharatiya Janata Party, I still maintain the same. We have no confusion that we want the larger interest of the students to be served.
Okay, you made that point. One moment.
So there is
Chandan, go ahead with your point, and then I'll come across to my other panelists. Chandan, very briefly, a point
but
you're
you are
making.
not raising the pertinent point whether your government is allowing, is attacking on the autonomy of institution or not, whether it is Delhi University or UGC, trying to play the autonomy against each other.
I want to talk about autonomy.
Go ahead.
Autonomy of this university was destroyed by the previous government. I'm not saying the government did it because there was unanimity there. They were doing it at the behest of certain corporate forces. The previous government destroyed the autonomy when they forced the semester system in which you have 2 examinations in a year and destroyed the entire teaching learning process. Then the Vice Chancellor said in an affidavit in court that because it is the HRD and the UGC which are recommending this, it's because it's the policy dictated to us by the government, that is why we're doing it. The teachers fought a pitched battle against it. This was forced on us. Number one. Number two, the autonomy question. You see, in any, there are 2 aspects to it. What does autonomy of a university mean? Academic autonomy. It means that there should be a fearless and free exchange of ideas, an environment in which you can express yourselves. Democratic functioning. That has been destroyed systematically by the Vice Chancellor in order to push through all these changes. You have not been given, the proposal was given 3 days notice, was given to the Academic Council.
I'm interrupting you only because that's going to be the next part of my debate. We'll discuss the merits.
No,
of
I
this
want to also talk about it again.
Nandita, we'll come back to you.
Fine.
I want to come across to you, and I know some of you are in favor of the program, some of you are not. But when you see the nature of this debate and how intensely political it is, because the BJP has a view, the Congress has a view, do you believe that as students you are victims in a sense of a larger political play? Would someone like to answer that question? Yeah, go ahead. Yeah, go ahead. Tell me.
So definitely we have been stuck in the crossfire between BJP and the Congress. So we are actually not worried about what Congress did in the past or what BJP is doing in the present. We are actually worried about our academics. Like there are many of us sitting over here who did not apply in any other universities because we were actually eyeing for Delhi University since our secondary education began. So I mean we are stuck over here. Why are we actually politicizing this issue? I mean, the major concern of the people who want to scrap FIUP is that the foundation courses are not good. So let's amend the foundation courses. Why entirely scrap the FIUP?
Anybody else want an opinion on this and on how this has become a political movement in a sense? Yeah, over here. Go ahead.
I completely agree with the 3-year courses and I'm with UGC, but my question is that even if they had this plan of scrapping FIUP and coming up with the 3-year courses, then why did they came up with this issue just a couple of days before when our first cut-off list was about to come out?
So in other words, there were politics which were involved.
Yes,
right?
It's completely politics and it's us the students who are suffering.
But let me ask one of you this question. Isn't it strange that on the one hand you can say that there are politics at the national level, but when it comes to student bodies, it seems that all student bodies by and large are against FYUP. So the politics, when you see and our student politics in Delhi University has been extremely vitiated between the different groups. Over here everybody seems to be by and large against FYUP. So isn't that strange that there are two levels of politics? Anybody? Yes. This gentleman over here, go ahead.
So I think the basic problem is there that the implementation of the course has not been done right by the institution, because it is a very good course but the implementation is not right, and we cannot just give it 1 year before we scrap the whole thing. It has to, if there is a flaw in it, then we have to try to solve it.
Okay, fair enough. I just wanted to come across to you, sir. What are your views on the 4-year program? A lot of people felt that, look, this was a real opportunity at bringing radical reform to the system. It's obviously not worked in the way it should have. But why don't you answer the question of what this young man said? It's just been 1 year, give it a chance.
See, the 4-year program, when it was introduced, the biggest problem is that everybody could not be carried along. As Nandita has said, there were people who felt unattended to, isolated, were not consulted, were not given an opportunity to participate in the framing of this course. That resentment has been there. That resentment has been brewing. And when it was implemented, the 4-year program was implemented, it was realized that the foundation courses are weak.
Yes.
They are of a lower level, and the way they were probably supposed to be delivered could not be delivered. And therefore, the students were not interested in even attending the classes. And there was large scale absenteeism. So I think there is a need to roll back.
So this
additional year has gone a waste.
As important point, I'll come back to that. But as a principal yourself, where do you stand on this issue? Because the issue of admissions themselves, it's a standoff right now. There is no progress. It almost seems inevitable that there would be some sort of order which has to be followed by the university. This is a showdown right now. Where do you see this going?
See, as of now, the university has agreed to come down to 3-year program. The only thing is that they want the program to be carved out of this 4-year course structure which they have designed. They are proposing is that the foundation courses from 2nd year be removed, and some of the foundation courses from 1st year can be reduced and make way for some additional discipline 1 courses. So if that is done, the structure of these courses will become nearly the same as that of the erstwhile honors courses.
Is that a way forward? What has been suggested?
That is what the so-called Citizens Committee has suggested, and the university is willing to consider it if UGC agrees. So that can be one way.
Anil Jha, what are your views on this?
Vishnu, I'll straight away like to set the tone and tenor of the debate by completely disagreeing with many of the panelists about the technicality, legality or the quality of 4-year program. I'll just tell you something in Hindi which will be very apt here. न जाने बादलों में क्या साजिश हुई, हमारा घर मिट्टी का था, हम ही पे बारिश हुई. See, Delhi University has become hotbed of politics, and there is a lot of rumor mongering going on. If you ask the technical aspects of it about the autonomy, it has been completely preserved by an act of parliament. Nobody can violate it. Government can't, and UGC in last few days has been acting tyrant. And let me tell you, as my friend suggested there, that see the timing, just before the admissions. What is the purpose? If they were so keen about this, they could have done it 2 months before. If they were so efficient about it, they could have done it 2 months later. Just before the admissions they are doing it, this is creating havoc. Delhi University has become, it is sitting on rumor mongering so much that a lot of confusion is prevailing. Look, academic council, executive council or the court, these are the bodies where all technical aspects of 4-year program, whether in terms of the quality of foundation courses, whether in terms of quality of discipline courses, all were discussed. And legally it has been settled. MHRD appreciated it in July 2013. Delhi High Court appreciated the autonomy of Delhi University last year when Duta had moved against Vice Chancellor.
Okay, there's some comments over here. I'll come to you in a moment. Go ahead. Yeah.
My question is for Ms. Nandita Das, Nandita Narayan. From a very long time, you had been supporting BTech to be continued even after FIUP is scrapped.
No.
And suddenly,
no.
It changed.
Okay, go ahead with your question, and then Nandita, I'll come to you next if you want to correct anything. Yeah, what is your question?
What is the future of BTech in the university? When we had enrolled in BTech, we had been because we had left our other opportunities because
okay, why don't you take that question, because BTech is an important issue.
I will take that question. It's true. You see, we have a lot of problems with the content of the BTech course, which if you've done 1 year, you will know that you've wasted your time. I mean, that is a common consensus. You've been doing mostly foundation courses. We had also a huge problem with the concept of BTech in humanities. We don't know what that means. And BTech in psychological sciences, we don't know what that means. So you can't call anything BTech and then expect it to be thought of as BTech. That's one. Second is, yes, despite all those flaws and despite the fact that we think that the probable market value of this course will not be there, because it does not have the adequate recognition from various professional bodies like AICT or UGC. But because there's a commitment to the students who joined in BTech, there is no way in which the university and the UGC, which is in a sense, it's a systemic failure that we did not correct it in time, so the students cannot be allowed to suffer because of that. You will have to get your opportunity to get your BTech, which will be done in 4 years. Our suggestion is that if you that the courses should be recast so that there's a greater technical content, so that has a real market value. The foundation should be removed, and in 3 years you should be, if you want to quit, you should be able to quit with a BSc honors. If you want to stay for the 4th year, you get your BTech. Does that answer your question for this batch of 2013?
Okay, one moment. Professor Sukhdev Thorat, why don't you come in at this stage, sir? A lot of people say that this is ultimately the clash of egos. It's a clash which sees, many people would call him an extremely progressive Vice Chancellor of Delhi University, who had a certain vision of what education in this country, in Delhi University, should have been, coming across a system which does not want to accept change at all. There are many, for example, who say that a student cannot be as well rounded as he or she would be if they don't have a proper 4-year degree program. Is this essentially a clash of egos between somebody who refuses to see anything but his way and an older sensibility that says, look, the way it was is just fine?
No, Chandani, you are pushing the political argument too much. The issue is that there are academic argument in the debate. The argument of the University Grant Commission in the beginning was, when they understood this issue, is that the university has a complete academic freedom to start any course They can have the content of their choice. That's not the issue. UGC doesn't interfere into that. The UGC come into the picture that once you have a new degree, they have to come to the UGC for specifying it. That is to say that the UGC has a list of the degrees, whether it fits into those specification or not. So job of the UGC is just to specify the degrees. Now the main issue is that later on the UGC and others realized that there were additional reasons which contradict the decision, and that is that you have a uniform 10+2+3 framework which was developed through a very long deliberation right from 1964 by a Kothari committee, then 86 in the education policy, and then in 1992 through an action plan. And this went to the parliament, this went to the CAP committee, which is the body of the state education minister. So a whole lot of deliberation went into this. Earlier the undergraduate program was 2-year duration, 3-year duration, 4-year duration. That is why some sort of uniformity was brought in to facilitate the mobility of the student from one university to another university and one state to another. So the issue of that, the coming into clash with the uniform policy, national policy particularly, that is an important reason why UGC is arguing with them. Now coming to the political aspect, I think the balance statement is given by Shashi Tharoor, who said that they were guaranteed in the beginning that it is a consensus, it has been approved by unanimous opinion, and that there is no problem. But as soon as the space was given by the new government, it emerged quite clearly that there was no consensus. The fact that there is so much of intense division on this issue, it tells you that it was not developed through a consensus. So there are academic arguments of uniformity and deviation from the national policy, which you have to understand.
Okay, Eric, yeah, go ahead.
That was a unanimous decision. NFI-UP was implemented. Now after 1 year they've woken up and said it's illegal or everything. I don't understand. If it has so many flaws, why is everybody focused on reverting back the 3-year plan? When it was mentioned that reforms are necessary, they are observing the 4-year plan after 1 year. What about those 2.7 lakh students who are applying, and on the day of the cutoff, they are saying the cutoffs have been postponed. The 4-year plan has been cut off, and now 3 year is getting back. I don't understand why is everybody focused on scrapping it instead of improving it.
Yeah, why don't you go ahead?
My question to Samrit sir. Samrit sir, congratulations, आपने इसको मैनिफेस्टो में लेके आए, लेकिन आज भी देख रहे हैं कि इतने दिन हो चुके हैं, आप डिले पे डिले हो रहा है एडमिशन प्रोसेस में, तो आप इसका कोई रिकवरी प्लान आपने MHRD ने कोई सजेस्ट नहीं किया आप इसको करें? आप बीटेक जैसे टेक्निकल कोर्स को स्क्रैप करने की बात करें जिसमें 4000 ऑलरेडी स्टूडेंट इनरोल है, ठीक है, अगर वो नेशनल एजुकेशन पॉलिसी या AICTE का अप्रूवल नहीं कर रहा था तो माई क्वेश्चन इज टू यू, देयर इज एनी प्लान फॉर बीटेक स्टूडेंट्स, MHRD गाइडलाइंस, आपके MHRD मिनिस्ट्री के पास कोई ऐसा प्लान है? जो
should they be involved? Should there be some sort of direct involvement? Smriti Irani so far has said that, look, this has to be sorted out between the UGC and the university. Is it time now for the government to be directly involved?
You have to understand one thing very frankly over here. There are government spokespersons and there are party spokespersons. As a party spokesperson, I still maintain that we have brought the issue. In fact, we all went yesterday to Smriti ji, the Minister of HRD. We requested her that in a proactive manner this should be taken up because the students are concerned over here. But rightly maintained politically over here, this is a matter between two departments, the UGC and the DU. Let's wait and watch. If things go over the head, surely the ministry would do something. We are waiting and watching between the two bodies and things are sorting out. But the one important question, the answer that I want to give over here is, remember one thing for sure. Education is not a commodity. Again and again I have said it. It's not a roti maker that you buy today. You see the dysfunction after 6 months and you throw it and you say that we are going to buy a new one. Remember one thing, if at all, if we save a single day of your life of a bad education, I believe we have done our job. Absolutely. And that's why any time is a fit time to get justice delivered.